Showtime, baby. Welcome back, everyone. May Outturn preview tasting. Got a different look going. Got some background music.
Everyone.
There we go. Got a background.
We found out we can play music. It's new. Ben's been going through all the songs for the last 10 minutes trying to find the right one.
Yes, Scott's been cycling through the whiskeys, tasting a few here and there, and I've just been trying to find the right track.
He's like, it's Monday night. We're coming at you live. SMWS, baby.
Welcome, everybody. Glad to have you with us. Another fantastic lineup. 6 whiskeys we got tonight, all dropping tomorrow, part of our May Outturn release. And yeah, Daniel H says, hello, Tom Shirt. I think he's referring to you, Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling out the flannel, the all-season flannel. I mean, it's like, it was 80-something degrees down here in the south.
It's 57 here right now, and thunderstorms here in a little bit. Hopefully it's after the live stream in case of power loss. So
nice.
We've been up and down a little bit on the temperatures, and yeah, 57. It's been raining. It's kind of cool, so flannel is good.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show, and it's good to see you. A lot of familiar faces. Quick shout out: Tom R is first in the chat. I saw Tom, and Stuart of Butte is second. Welcome, guys. Good to see you. I think, let's see who else we have this evening. Brian Baumstein's here. Good to see you, Brian, and a lot of good points. Northwoods Whiskey Nerds, I love that. Says, good evening, gents. Good to see you both again. Cheers to you from the Northwoods. Where is the Northwoods? I mean, I can speculate.
A little bit farther up than the Southwoods.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adjacent to the Eastwoods and the Westwoods.
Yeah.
Warren Buff says, good evening, folks. Finally cracked my bottle of 4.283 tonight. Well, we got quite a lineup tonight. We got 6 bottles, as we said, all dropping tomorrow for the May Outturn. Our colleagues are out hosting tasting events tonight around the country, from East Coast to West Coast and in between. And here we are in Scotland, as you can tell by the background. We are in the mother country tonight, surrounded by plenty of whiskey, as you can see. And so I think we feel no envy tonight. And we're just glad you're here with us.
All right, let's get started with the first one here. Let me get into our banners.
So we're about to go through this lineup. Scott, you've tasted pretty much everyone so far, I believe, right? I just got these today. I've just opened the box. So this is kind of a first time for me, but let's go get with it. Everybody who's in the chat, pour yourself a dram. It's Monday night. Oh, the fresh cork of a new bottle. It's 79 points.
I've actually already shot my reviews of these, so I've been into each one of them a little bit. But 79.6, rough and jumble. And I believe this is the first Distillery 79 I've had from the SMWS. 9-year-old Highland, first fill ex-bourbon barrel, 60.8%, young and sprightly flavor profile. Woo! There's more spice on the nose than I expected with the young and sprightly. Little blast of cinnamon, even a little pepper, I thought.
Ooh, that cinnamon's right there. And that's something you typically associate with like a sherry cask. It's pretty prominent on this young first fill ex-bourbon barrel. Super lively. I mean, the aroma really, really jumps out at you. You can tell it's above 60% just by the vibrancy of the spirit. Right on the nose. It's tingling the nose hairs. Man, I trimmed those this week.
Super citrusy, super sweet, little bit of oak. More spice than I had expected. Not overwhelming spice, but a nice level of spice for a 9-year. Little ginger I just got.
A little spoiler for this evening. I was looking at the lineup of the whiskeys we have. Again, this is sort of my first go at these. We do have quite a few distilleries represented here that we don't see much of often. And I know that's something that a lot of society members really get into, the fact that you can try whiskeys from distilleries that either don't ever sell whiskey to the U.S. In its own distillery bottlings, or just really hard to come by as a single malt. So a lot of these, of course, are also used for blends at times.
Yeah.
So
I think there's two tonight, and I don't remember which one. This is one, but there's another one that I have not had before. So yeah, I noticed that too. There were some different distilleries that we just don't see that often. Well, even this one, 79.6. This is only the sixth cask, from Distillery 79. This is a weird one. What about pickle juice? Pickly Do is watching, and I swear I'm getting a little bit of a dill.
When you said that, I was immediately thinking, oh, please don't say that, because it's the power of suggestion. I don't want to be smelling pickled juice right now. I got none of that. But it's funny you saw Pickly Do's name, and that sort of was a trigger for you. I get none of it. I get a very bright, fruity aroma, very vibrant, as I mentioned earlier. And that cinnamon spice is really, it's hard to place it, where that's derived from. A little bit of wood smoke, perhaps, but a lot going on. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, cheers.
Thanks for joining us.
Let Ben take his sip, and again, 60.8% ABV.
So, very strong on the palate, of course, but not what I expected. Usually the first dram of the night is always the most intense. This is a really high strength, as we said, 60.8. And here I am, like, my eyes are watering at this point, but right away, for the first 10 seconds, I promise you, it was pretty smooth. I'm going to add some water for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What do you think? Did you get, is that your experience too? Was it surprisingly approachable for?
Yes and no, but then surprisingly, when I thought of a 9-year-old, it doesn't. This reminds me of an older, like a little bit older, I mean, like maybe an 11 or a 12-year-old that's been in a second fill cask instead of a first fill. I mean, it's really like there's lighter, subtler oak influence here, and just kind of feels like it's been in a second fill barrel instead of a first fill. But very surprising at 9 years and in that young and sprightly, the amount of spice and the slight oaks, all these citrus fruits that are in there. It's really packed in there pretty good.
Shout out to Eric Waite, who says, I'm working on a video, 10 reasons I joined the SMWS. And access to inaccessible whiskeys is number one. I like how you've capitalized access to inaccessible whiskeys. That really is the title right there is number one. Yeah, I appreciate that, Eric. That's great to hear. And like I said, got quite a few of those tonight. Whiskeys you don't typically see either in single malt form or just from lesser known distilleries that don't typically come or don't have the marketing muscle, I would say, to bring their own brands to the US at times. So we'll see.
I need slight tobacco on this, very slight cigar wrapper. Loads of almost even grapefruit, but kind of more green apple, grapefruit, lighter citruses, spice, slight oak. And I just added a drop of water to mine, so I'm going to try it with water.
Yeah, I've added quite a bit. It opens up more of a classical sort of Highlander profile, a bit earthy and robust. It's not as fruity as more like a typical space cider, but you still get this sort of prickly pear element, and maybe prickly because I'm thinking of the alcohol content's pretty high, so it is still strong even with some water. But it's a really, really nice balance of the orchard fruits and a little bit of earthiness. And some, I don't know, the spicy undertones are surprising still. I think in a good way. It's just another layer of depth and complexity in the spirit. But yeah. More 10 reasons Eric should give me his SMWS question. Classic.
Whiskey Throttle, I meant to call you back on Saturday. I just remembered. Sorry about that. Don't call me now.
Rough and Jumble. You know what? Not as rough when you add a little bit of water, but again, still a very strong whiskey. Good represent. I think a good example of a younger whiskey is it's a good balance between the spirit and the cask. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of synergy going on just within the natural, I think, production of the liquid. But Yeah. I don't know. I think
To me, I think the water helps this one. I think it's young enough. Everything's pretty compressed in there. That high ABV. Add some water, bring it out. I'm just going to taste it here. I put another dash of water in it. Brought it down pretty good here, and just kind of see what I get. Yeah, water's definitely helping. This one has taken off a lot of those rough edges, and just the way those flavors were really compacted in there. It's opening up now, smoother, mellower, fruitier, creams and marshmallows, all those citrus fruits still a very slight tobacco note, nice oak, good overall. Ooh, nice spiciness. Yeah, very surprising. And it's been a while since we've had a young and sprightly, but did not disappoint.
All right, change them up. Next in line, what do we got?
Let's go with the 14-year, I think.
Ooh, okay.
We have a little bit of them. We got a couple of wine cask finishes tonight and some different flavor profiles. And 1, 2, 3, 71, 79. There we go. Got 71.79, adventurously awesome. 14-year-old Speyside, bottled at 58.7% from a first fill ex-bourbon barrel, and it's in the spicy and sweet flavor profile.
I'm going to do a little ASMR. What are you?
ASMR, yeah.
I'm going to just open this one up. Ooh, this one is what's going on here? I just smell it out of the bottle. This is a different spirit right here. So keeping to the theme of distilleries represented, or lesser known distilleries represented, this is, I think, a fantastic unknown to many. And I was eyeing this one just on paper and try not to judge, but pretty excited to give this one a go.
Yeah, I think this is one that I had not had prior either. So,
oh man, just a very, very full symphonic aroma. It's overripened fruits, a little bit of wood smoke again in this one. The baking spices for me are very autumnal. They're present, but they're not like the last one. The last one was like it was kind of shouting at you a little bit. Of course, 14 years of age. This has spent some more time in the wood. Dialed down 58.7%, still pretty high for a 14-year-old, but also first fill ex-bourbon barrel. So smaller cask, fresher cask, 14 years in it, man. This is right away just such an evocative aroma, and really you can just, you know what I mean? Like you just smell, you just say, no, this is sort of like it's a very tranquil spirit. There's a vibe going on. We gotta get that music going back. I was
gonna say the same with the spiciness. The 9-year actually was getting a little bit more spice on the nose, and this one being in the spicy and sweet profile, I expected more spice on the nose, but it's almost like there's some red fruit there blasting the spice out of the way. It's almost more raspberry-ish, kind of more berries. And this is just a first fill ex-bourbon barrel, but definitely some nice darker citrus notes on the nose. Slight oaks, slight spices.
Dude, it's delicious. I'm just smelling the liquid. It's just like, man, this is. And I love this because I have no expectations for any of these whiskeys. I think you probably did the first time you tasted them too. This is
We both did that exhale at the same time.
immediately luscious. sort of a creamy texture. And then for me, like the first 5 seconds, as it's going in the palate was very, very delicate, and then it sort of just comes alive and invigorates the palate because, man, it is still pretty strong, approaching for 60% even. I have a feeling this. Now I should mention too, this is a neck, what you call a neck pour. People have their opinions about neck pours. So for me, I'm kind of tasting these just as you would for the first time if you order a bottle and open it up. You can tell this needs a little bit of time to breathe.
Very nice, kind of a chocolate caramel hot fudge cake. Maybe a little raspberry drizzle on it. It feels much older than 14 years. Nice oak influence here. Spices, chocolates and caramels. Just decadent, hot dessert cake notes.
Go ahead and add some water to this one.
Maybe even a little cherry syrup on that chocolate cake.
Yeah, I got some of that as well.
Very nice, neat. Go with a drop of water or two. A little bit of a maltiness showing.
Typically, when you add water to a whiskey of this style, it brings out more of the fruits. For me, it brought out more of the baking spices and the oakiness a little bit. Kind of the reverse of what I would expect. Becomes more rustic, which was shocking. Again, first pour out of the bottle for me. Still punchy. I like it. Is
more cinnamon. Brought out more cinnamon, a little bit more oak. I'm getting a lot more of that fruitiness though too, along with it. Boy, it really sets in water, really letting this one tap into the taste buds and set in. Ooh, very nice. Wow. I think I'll go with a little bit more.
So I have opinions of this whiskey, obviously, as I've shared. I'm eager to go through the rest of them and kind of go back because give it some more time to breathe, but also just go through some other whiskeys. Let's see how that stacks up with what's coming because I think there's just a lot going on here for a bourbon cask. Shockingly, but yeah, I think that's a very well-rounded cask overall. I'm trying to think of what I would change selfishly. I don't know that I would.
Nice. There's nice. I can't get chocolate cake and fudge, caramel, berries out of my head. Cinnamon glaze. Water definitely helping this one. I think it's really helping open it up and bring out more of those notes. Whew. Just nice. And the finish on this one, it hangs around. I mean, I'm sitting here still, and I've got 2 rounds of water in here. It's still lighting up the palate. I can still sit here and smell it and taste it both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great finish on this one.
Mm-hmm. Scott on a diet.
Nope. It's the lighting.
Yeah, I've got this extreme lighting going on here. I was just thinking, for this one, I think I need a new webcam, or get a just new camera, not a webcam. And get rid of the webcam, get a real cam. Just because we've stepped it up with our, sound effects and music and background. Yeah. Got the mic device lighting going. It's just not really picked up by this old webcam.
Oh, I was looking at the tasting notes on the bottle. Chocolate quince cake, followed by a syrup adventurously made with chipotle chili, vanilla, and whiskey to be served over thick, fluffy pancakes. Pretty close to what we were getting. Didn't get any chipotle chili.
Eric Waite says, a sample every 10 to 15 minutes is a bit fast. I like to zone out with these whiskeys and pretend planet Earth no longer exists. It's just me and the whiskey alone in the universe. Well, that's pretty much how every millennial thinks about life. It's just them and them. But yeah, definitely. Maybe that's a little preview to our stream coming up on Wednesday. We'll get into that later. But yeah, we are flying through these, and and I agree with Eric though, because as we do these, man, every time we taste these for the first time, I'm thinking, I just want more time. And usually, what we end up doing is when we end the stream, I just go back and revisit. So, where are we going to next? What's number 3? We're approaching.
I pulled out the 7, going right to a 17-year next in the flavor because of the sweet, fruity, and mellow profile here. 7.269.
Oh, there we go. Luscious.
This one describes me really to a T.
We need an age game. Oh, really? Luscious, silky, and sensuous in a flannel shirt. Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe you. Comment everybody in chat if you would agree. This name is this is Scott's identity right here. Yep. Let me go ahead and open this one up.
So, 17-year-old, 7.269, luscious, silky, and sensuous. This distillery does some really good whiskeys. Speyside, 55.5%, easy to remember, all fives. And second fill, ex-bourbon barrel.
Tamar says, then I'm sure Eric is more of a boomer than a youngster. Yes, Tom, I know. I just thought it was funny for that reason.
I had Eric on, and he was kind of taking his time. I kind of had to get him going a couple of times there on some of the whiskeys. He does like to take his time on them, which is good.
You know what? I didn't pour enough in this bottle. This is Scott's alter ego, luscious, silky, and sensuous. And
yep,
give me the full dram here. Even though we're just tasting through these, I wanted to put enough enough whiskey in the glass, so that I can add water and really kind of experience the evolution. Sometimes you just pour a little whiskey, there's not really much room to play. So we need some healthy pours here.
The first whiskey we tried was Ben's alter ego, rough and jumble. I'm more silky, sensuous, or luscious, silky, and sensuous.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe the two of us. Yeah. I'm rough and jumble, and you're
man, the fruitiness on this one. Nice citrus fruits, vanilla creams, vanillas and citruses. A little floral.
Oh yeah.
Very aromatic, very perfumey.
This is totally different experience. Just knowing it.
I'm ready for I've got a quiz question for after we get done with this one. We'll do a quiz. We got a $50 gift card tonight, Ben. Couple maybe.
Yeah.
Put you on the spot.
Yeah. Just love being. Yeah. That's how it's going down. I gotta tell you, man, this whiskey, just nosing this thing, this is really special. It's really got just some notes that suggest, I don't know, it's some common notes, and just the sort of the worn leather, very, very, very sort of slight influence of this, but worn leather, and some, I think, just trying to think of like a charred. Wow, I'm really struggling to articulate my thoughts on this one. It's like a luxury whiskey. You know, when you hear about that, like the definition, just nosing this, you think of like, wow, I'm in a classical Scotch whiskey setting. Leather armchair, fireplace, all the jazz.
Really, and kind of the old books that some people bring up when you hear the leather chairs.
Yeah.
Old books, fruity.
What I was suggesting is that it has some elements of a whiskey that would be much older. Like it evokes a much older whiskey than 17 years old. Some whiskeys of 30 plus years in oak have developed, I think, some similar just aromatics to this one. So
Yeah, it's one of those I think that you could spend quite a bit of time just nosing. The more air that it gets, the more it's going to show. Nice color as well. I don't know if anybody can see it for 17 years old, but that's a second fill barrel, right? Yep, second fill ex-bourbon barrel. So lesser cask influence here, more distillate character showing.
55.5%. Still a lot of it's very vibrant, sort of just delivery on the palate. But this is an elegant, more sensual experience. I forgot the name. Luscious, silky, and sensuous. There you go. I would say as advertised. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. So fruity, so smooth, but such a full palate as well. I mean, it's not a light whiskey. It's very viscous, very coating. And there's a slight tobaccos in here. Nice lighter fruits. Nice, some floral notes. Little bit of leather. Little bit of tobacco. Little bit of spice. Well-rounded. It's all in here. I mean, it's a 17-year-old whiskey.
Everybody in chat, yes or no? When you think of the name luscious, silky, and sensuous, is Scott the first person that comes to mind? Yes or no? I'll just do a quick little poll here. I'm gonna say
Eric Waite will say yes, and maybe. So I know Whiskey Throttle will maybe. Too.
Yeah, I haven't added water yet. I gotta tell you, it's quite good. Right at this 55.5%. Getting some no's. Eric says nope. I think of Bart. A lot of no's. Look at everybody saying no.
Where's my supporters? Come on, I know multicasting is in there. He's got it.
As sexy as a morning snow. Oh, come on. Warren Buff says flannel does not scream silky to me. Oh, come on. What do you mean about these natural fibers that don't scream silky? All right, we got some yeses coming. All right. So overall conclusions of this one, Scott, I think for me it's kind of the same from the nose to the palate to the finish. Very sort of elegant. It's not a rough and tough whiskey if you want to sort of go out and snow blow the driveway and you want something to go along with that experience. Not at all. I'm just trying to think of other ways to describe it other than what it is. Very, very elegant Speyside whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let me try it. I've added another round of water here for my second round. I think this one's going to handle water pretty well, and probably with that 17 years even open up a little bit more. All those notes really just expanding the spices and the fruits and the vanillas and the leather. Slight tobacco still. Palate on this one's a killer. The finish hangs around. Woo. Nice indeed. All right. Are we ready for a giveaway?
Sure, let's do it. So we're at the halfway mark. 3 whiskeys down, 3 to go. And this is where it gets real interesting, but let's do it.
All right. The whiskey that we just reviewed had an easy to remember ABV.
Well, it's in the scrolling across the screen.
It won't be for long.
Oh.
So you got a comment, number wise and percentage. Put the percentage sign on there for the correct answer. And you got a comment with the percentage sign. You can only, if you put it in there 10 times, you're only entered once. Use the percentage sign. Use the percentage sign.
So we're
easy
picking,
to remember percentage.
So you're picking randomly.
Yep.
From everybody who gets the answer correct. I don't see a single wrong answer except for anyone who's forgotten the percentage.
It was easy to remember. Anybody that was paying attention. And you said it like 3 times you kept saying 55.5. I wasn't.
I kept saying 56.8, 56.8, 56.8. Nobody's gotten it. 56.8. Guys, 56.8. Think about it. Okay, everybody.
Here's something to think about, Ben. We start with the lighter whiskeys, palate-wise. All right. We've gone through 3 whiskeys, and they've all really been pretty darn good for the lighter 3 of for the next 3 coming up. You see what I'm saying? We're moving into the heavier palates now. These have been phenomenal on the palate. We're moving into the really good ones.
Was there something I was supposed to think about? I thought you said something to think about.
Yeah, just that we had 3 really good ones.
Oh,
and
yeah.
3 better ones.
Yeah, I was thinking back, so as everybody's answering, up 56.8, I see it. I see Joe Van Name got 56.8. Actually, Joe, you better change it because that's not actually right. But
yeah.
Yeah, just quick recap. We started with the young and sprightly 9-year-old first filled bourbon barrel, the Rough and Jumble. I think really surprised me for how developed it was over just a short amount of time, not being 9 years. I think it's a relatively short amount of time. So good cask, good spirit, good everything. Obviously over 60%, really bright. Then we went into quite an experience with that 14-year-old spicy and sweet. That was cask 71.79. I'm really, really into that. Like I said, eager to revisit. And the last one, yeah, more of a classical, elegant luxury whiskey that probably like I suggested, evokes a spirit that's a bit older, that's spent more time in the cask. So really good cask again. Well, that was a second fill bourbon barrel. Really good cask nonetheless. A lot of good wood influence, but overall just very well balanced. Anyway, want to pick your winner and let's.
All right, let me share my screen. We'll go in there. I forgot to do this the second time the other night. Can you see my screen, Ben?
No.
You can't?
Nope.
I did the same thing then. Share.
See
share
you when it's got a sunset.
There. Share. Chrome has lost. Oh, I can't do it. What? Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. To fix it, go to System Preferences, unlock this screen by selecting the lock in the bottom left corner. Check Google Chrome.
Okay, well, while Scott's doing that, I'm going to pour a whiskey.
Yeah, let me see if I can get this fixed before we draw, just so I can show everybody.
Dave Fritz said the music broke your screen.
What's that under? Privacy? Accessibility?
All right. While Scott picks the winner, I want to give you guys a quick shout out. Join us this Wednesday, same time, same place, for a very special live stream we'll be doing. You probably actually already saw the thumbnail or whatever the link is up live. We'll be doing a very special May the 4th live stream. And Scott, we have to really kind of work on our agenda for that stream. We're going to come together on May the 4th, of course, and we're going to talk about all things whiskey and Star Wars, of which Scott and I are, well, I could say fans, to say the least. And if that's a surprise to any of you, well, be prepared to be surprised because we'll be talking all things whiskey and Star Wars. We got to really work on our connection between the two topics, two of our favorite things. Anyway, if you like Star Wars, if you like whiskey, which we know you do, check us out Wednesday, same time, same place. We need a new background. We need new attire. We need to bring out some big guns in terms of the whiskey. Scott, have you figured that out? You want to just tell us the winner?
It seems like I'm right there. Oh, no, wait, I've got to restart Chrome to do it. Okay, I'm going to have to. Here, I know what I can. Well, no, I can't do that. Yeah, I can do that here.
Can we just take your word for it?
Yes. But.
Because you're going to have to share the cast list at the end too, right?
Can you see my phone?
No. Are you pointing at the camera? Or are you pointing at your laptop?
No. Well, no, I got it pointed at the screen. That's not going to work either. All right. There's 66 entries. We're going to draw. It's drawing. I'm going to have to fix Google Chrome while off camera. It's slowing down. It's slowing down. Matthew Socek. I'm going to say Matthew Socek is the winner. $50 gift card.
Congrats, Matthew. That was the longest halftime show we've ever had in a Outturn preview tasting. And send you $50 gift card. If you're a member, use it towards your next bottle. If you're not a member, use it towards a membership.
That's right. And I'll have to shoot me an email. Let me check. Are you a member, Matt? Oh, you are a member. So I'll send you a $50 gift card that you can use on your whatever purchase you want. Next one or one after that. Let me grab my pen and paper real quick, and I'll write that down. And then we'll move on to the 13-year-old Red Oak, Ben, if you want to get that one ready.
Daniel H says, congrats, we got through that lull. Yes, Daniel, I want to remind you that we brought Scott on to do this professionally. And so I'm glad we really we've been able to share screens. And you do have to share the list at the end, Scott. So I think at some point.
Oh, I can't. I'll have to send it to you. See if you can.
You send it to me.
I wonder if you'll be able to share your screen.
Yeah, I'm sure. All right, whiskey number 4. You got it queued up? I'm gonna open it up.
Red Oak 59.65. Turn the music down just a touch.
Oh yeah. Sorry, intermission is over. Beginning of the 3rd period.
You've kind of had it up though in the background, didn't you? Haven't you had it playing?
No, I did.
All right, let me see if I can send you an email real quick. Okay.
Whoa.
What?
We had this red wine cask, red wine bourbon.
Yeah. This is, I'll tell you up front, if you had, or if you got Rara Avis, the 25-year-old we had a while back, that was a Sauternes finish. This is very reminiscent of that. It's very close. Now, this is a red wine barrique, but it screams Rara Avis, a younger Rara Avis. And I've taken some calls from some members looking to get Rara Avis. Of course, it's sold out, but this one is right there with it.
Wow. Straight away, luscious, over-ripened grapes, stewed grapes, well, fermented grapes, because it's a wine cask, of course. So, but it's sort of free of any real, I think, tannins that would sort of grip the nose. I mean, I haven't even tasted it yet. I'm just smelling it. Really, really well balanced. 13 years of total age. I was assume 1 or 2 years in the red wine barrique. We can find.
I had this. I think it was 3 years in the red wine barrique, if I remember right. Let me look it up real quick while you're.
I was just when I opened that for the first time, I just smelled the aroma just out of the bottle.
Yeah,
you can just tell the wine influence is so prevalent. But again, not overly tannic.
10 and 3, 10 years in the ex bourbon, 3 years in the ex red wine barrique. But yeah,
barrique is sort of the standard cask size for aging wine, and most of these barriques presumably probably came from France, probably from from a winery in Bordeaux is, I mean, I'm going to speculate, is where we get most of them from, in which we bring them over to Scotland, and then we'll transfer whiskey that's from in a warehouse into the wine cask or wine barrique. And George Kaplan says, any clues on the type of red wine? So I'm not really quite sure, but presumably from Bordeaux would be my guess. We tend to get a lot of them from there.
Yeah, and it doesn't say any more on that. But so with the Sauternes on the Rare Avis, and even this one, I would confuse it a little bit with a Marsala finish. There's a little bit of a funk along with it, all those red berries. Woo! But it's so nice. Marsala, Sauternes, this red wine barrique, whatever was in it, pretty similar. I even pulled, after I opened this one and tasted, I pulled out the Rare Avis to go side by side with it, and it's pretty close. This one obviously being a little younger. The Rare Avis was a 25-year, but
Very bright, high acidity. Thinking of the whole wine. The wine presence is just it's just so. Say the wine cask influence is so prevalent, I think, to the overall profile of this. But again, still remain acidic a little bit, but not overly tannic, and that surprises me for this. Really, really well balanced, delicious.
Ernie is saying, can we have a close up of the color? Let me see if mine will show. There's a definitely kind of a pink hue to it. I don't know if it's coming through or not. If you can see, it's a little bit darker, but kind of a pinkish hue. Very nice indeed, and definite influence.
Yes, and in the webcam, you can probably see a little bit more of the pink.
Yeah, there you go.
Or maybe that's just the lighting behind me, but okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you moved it in front of the pink light. Huh?
Absolutely delicious whiskey.
Yeah, just nice, nice red berries, little bit of nice grapes, a little bit of funk, same as a Marsala gives. I love it. Slight oaks, and really, I get that wine influence and some slight oaks, which I mean that could be from the wine cask as well. Little bit of spice. That's the majority of the palate, I think.
Really special.
A little bit of water here, and it's on the ticker there. $135 for this one. 13-year, delicious.
That's a buy. I mean, I know we're biased, but
yeah,
I was a member before, but I was here, and that would have been a buy for me for sure.
Yeah,
just for the price point too. And I mean, look, everything is. I don't think anything stood out as me as being like bad value for what it is. But I would, if you're building a home collection or home bar, maybe not to insane levels like us, but you're looking for some diversity in sort of flavors and styles at your at home. Like this is an easy one to fit in because, like I said, there are wine cask whiskeys out there, sure, but this one I think is just so well balanced. Like it's prominent, but it's not overpowered. It's clearly not a full term wine cask matured whiskey, but it's just so well balanced,
Yeah, great for 3 years in that in the red wine barrique. Very nice influence here. I added a splash of water here. Whew. Well, I love the nose on this one.
Oh, I love everything about it.
Yeah, a little bit of an earthiness in the nose. A little bit of some earth tones. Petrichor, you would say almost, I think. Almost a little bit of a after rain scent.
This is it's really good, man. I think you guys can probably understand, everybody in chat, you can understand the complex of Scott and I being here. Like we both work for SMWS. We both chose to be here because we wanted to be honest about our opinions. We didn't want to necessarily work for another whiskey brand where we had to just sort of say, you know, one of a few products is really good and you must buy it. These all come and go. But, you know, we're definitely whiskey nerds at the core. And so, man, this one is like killer. This is just, I can say that unequivocally. Like, it's a good value. And,
You know, when I was looking at retiring from my first career and thinking of getting into the whiskey business, SMWS was at the top of my list just because, one, we work with everybody or darn near everybody, distillery wise. And two, SMWS has just been doing some really good things over the last few years, some phenomenal things, I think, and bringing some really good whiskeys to market to the members. And it shows here. I mean, like I told you, those first 3 whiskeys we went through were really good. I was like, now get ready for the next 3 because of ones like this.
Yeah, the first 3, you know, and I'm reminded with except a lot of my friends in the UK or our colleagues in the UK, you know, in terms of like desire, like different palate, there's like a British palate and American palate, but in general, in terms of cuisine and drink and everything. And the first 3, I feel like a lot of my colleagues in the UK would really go after that. They're a bit more intricate, you know, they're all bourbon casks, and the differences between the 3 are not so obvious. Yeah, basically, what I'm meaning to say is I think you need a little bit of experience with the spirit to really appreciate the differences. I think to the novice, they're pretty subtle. This one is sort of in between because it's obviously bourbon cask matured whiskey, but then you have this perfect layer of red wine cask on top of it. So it's not overpowering the spirit. You really get, I think, the distillery's core character beneath it. It's like a bridge. It's the Atlantic Ocean bridging the 2 interests. And I mean, that is to say that in the US, I think the whiskey consumer tends to prefer a bolder flavor profile, maybe more cask driven. That's just what I'm looking at when we're looking at sort of like consumer statistics and purchasing data. But this is like a bridge in between. It's like satisfies, I think, both worlds. And that's not to say that everybody in the UK likes an elegant whiskey and everybody in the US likes, you know, I'm just generalizing here. This exists in such a unique space, this whiskey, that I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I think water is definitely helping this one again. It's really bringing out more of those wine notes. It's really a little bit of a coastal, sea salty kind of finish tagging along now with it. A little bit of that earthiness, almost a little bit more of the barrel char showing as well, bringing it all in, really rounding it out, making it very nice.
All right. Should we move on?
No.
2 more whiskeys to go. And yeah, we mentioned earlier that so Wednesday we'll be back. We can talk more about that at the end. I'd like to get some ideas from everybody in chat about what we should do, because I think we have a few different directions. We'll take that.
If you can share your screen, on your end, maybe show the thumbnail that we came up with as well. A little teaser.
Oh,
later when we're
later. Okay, yeah.
If you've got access, I emailed you to the whiskey list for the release tomorrow.
Okay.
So, all right. Next up, I need to clean my palate a little bit after that one. We're moving to the deep, rich, and dried fruits profile.
This is a Scott special right here.
100.29. Now, Misbehaving in a Country Home is the name of this one. Now, I grew up in a small town, and when I think of misbehaving in a country home, I think it's got a whole different meaning than what's going on with what they're saying here. That's all I'm saying.
And you think the luscious, silky, and sensuous whiskey is more you than misbehaving in the country house? I'm gonna open this one up again.
No, it's just the name. It was just the name. It wasn't the whiskey itself. Misbehaving in a Country House. Very interesting name here. I better clean my palate here a little bit. So, 11-year-old Speyside Double casking. First cask is an ex-bourbon hogshead. Second cask, a first fill ex-Oloroso hogshead. 57.2%. Boom.
Yeah.
And hold your. Let's show them the color of this one again, Ben. If you can hold yours up there in front of your.
Oh,
light.
Yeah. Usually, what do? Do I get out of the way? Or this is not even focusing.
There you go. Hold it in front. It probably tries to focus on your face.
I would say it's the color of the tree sap in which the mosquito was trapped in Jurassic Park.
Ooh, there you go. The amber.
Yes, a deep amber hue.
And this one is 8 years ex-bourbon, 3 years ex-Oloroso. So again, a great double casking here. Nice ex-bourbon cask influence. Moved into a sherry cask. We're going to get a lot of sherry on the nose. Darker fruits. Woo! Cinnamons, fudges.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one on the screen right now, and that's okay because I'm having a little bit of a moment with this whiskey.
It will balance it out a little bit.
Oh man, there's much
for a little bit.
Yeah, you can talk. Oh man, that was so wild. That was so. I kind of jumped right in. I forgot we're nosing and then tasting. I sort of just.
No, that's right. Yeah, we get excited at times.
Well, let me break it down. Right away, you cannot escape the fact that there's Oloroso sherry. The cask used in the maturation of this whiskey. It's nutty. It's spicy. It's got the sort of heavy dried figs, a little bit of dates going on just on the aroma alone. And then the palate, I thought it was just more oaky. A bit of wood smoke on this one as well. A bit more rustic. But that classic Oloroso nutty finish was really, really strong.
I got leathers and tobaccos just up front before I even swallowed. But as I had it in my mouth and was swishing it around, leather and tobacco comes out. All of those nice dark sherry notes that we look for, the prunes, the dates, the raisins, all that in there. Still not overpowering, though. I mean, definitely a very nice double casking. 8 years ex-bourbon, 3 years Oloroso, but great influence here. Somewhere in between slight sherry influence and sherry bomb, in that middle range. But it's just nice.
Oh man, Wednesday is gonna be fun.
Neat. I mean, still just toasted almonds, fudge, a fudge, a liquid fudge, just chocolate and fudge drizzle, roasted almonds, all those dark sherry notes, the plums, the raisins, the dates, cinnamons, nutmegs, oak, toasted oak. Wow. I'm going for water.
Yeah, so this is, like I said, this is obviously an Oloroso sherry matured whiskey, and I can see here the second term is a hogshead. Actually, it should be on the screen here. Smaller cask type. It's not a sherry butt. I think so. Smaller cask as far as sherry goes. So probably a heightened concentration of the sherry influence, but still, it's not full term, and you can tell that it's a very balanced whiskey between the bourbon wood as well as the sherry cask. So you have a lot of sort of the two poles going on here. One pole being the bourbon cask and the sort of the toasted caramels and the citrus peel. I'm just generalizing flavors from bourbon. And then the second being sort of the Oloroso sherry, the nuttiness and the spiciness, as well as sort of the red fruits. Yeah. 11 years. And it's interesting because I think age is just a number, and this really shows, because I think there's so much going on, so much is developed in the whiskey. Maybe it's the combination of sort of the two casks. Sorry, one cask that was just the two types of wood that the liquid spent time in. But there's a lot of complexity.
Yeah, First round of water in here.
Yeah, I got that as well.
Ooh, water bringing out more of the chocolate, more of the caramels, a little bit more of the toastedness, a little bit more of the oak. Everything is still in there, though. Ooh, gorgeous. Just as I look up, Ben is shaking his head from side to side.
That's good whiskey, man. You know, it's funny. I was thinking the name "Misbehaving in the Country House" and thinking, like, well, wait a second. The Scottish countryside is very different from. I'm not thinking American country house. I'm thinking of, you know, just like sheep dampened by the rain, and it says here on the tasting note on the bottle. I'm reading this directly: sliding down the banister in a country house and being rewarded with tartine. See already, different country house, creme brulee, and marzipan. That's a nice little Scotch for Dummies reference right there.
Yeah, marzipan.
Are you typically rewarded with creme brulee in American country house? I don't know.
Yeah, probably not.
Rather good,
True.
you know.
Well, they had sliding down the banister. I think that's their misbehaving. My definition of misbehaving in a country house a little bit different. We don't need to go into that. I grew up though as a teenager in a small town.
Yeah.
No other images need to be implanted.
Just Scott in his flannel shirt being luscious, silky, and sensual.
Somebody learned.
7.269. Yeah, great whiskey. Great whiskey. Not, you know, like I said, not overly. The sherry cast is not overly dominant. So I think looking for sort of a springtime sherry matured whiskey, this is probably it. Sounds like a sales pitch, actually. I didn't mean for it to be, but all right, whiskey number 5 hit the hour mark, and all you Pete freaks out there, we didn't leave you hanging. We're not going to, at least. We got one for you.
We always got one for the Pete heads.
So, yeah, here we go. Distillery cast number 16.60, entering uncharted paths. Entering uncharted paths. I was just at Distillery 16 about 6 to 8 weeks ago, I want to say. I'm trying to think.
I don't think it was that long, was it?
End of March? Okay, I don't know. 5, 6 weeks ago?
We'll call it 6.
And I'm really excited for this.
Multicasting is Charlie and his wife Jean, but he says Jean says Scott is a walking John Mellencamp song. Yep.
I need a lover who won't drive me crazy.
Little ditty about Jack and Diane.
Two American kids growing up. I don't know. Oh man, this whiskey's going to be a football star.
Football star. Yeah, and then the misbehaving in the country house comes along.
Misbehaving in the little pink country house. All right. And so straight away, peated whiskey. This, first of all, okay. If you've been around the block as a member, I think the last couple of years, you probably noticed not the first recharred hogshead we've seen from Distillery 16. Of course, there have been 60 casts to date, all different types. We tend to see both peated and unpeated whiskey from Distillery 16 as they produce. This is, of course, fully peated whiskey in a recharred hogshead. And I just think that recharred hogshead is such a spectacular cask. It transforms the whiskey and creates a really unique profile. I've only nosed this. I'm going to get into it myself. And I think, Scott, you probably tasted it already. But what I mean to say is that we've seen a few 9 and 10-year-old recharred hogsheads from this distillery. Everyone has been different, different enough. I think to which I think it's not a bad idea to have multiples, because sometimes I think that recharred hogshead can really take over, mellow out the peat. Other times it can be sort of a bit gentler in its approach and really allow the spirit to shine. So you never really know what you're going to get. I think nature is wildly unpredictable, and this is a good example of that. Just of whiskey being a natural product and just an unpredictable product. So I just had to preface this by saying, yes, I'm excited.
I'll say sometimes with the recharred hogshead, I get a lot of toastedness naturally with a recharred toasted hogshead. I didn't, not so much with this one, but let's get into it and see. I'll tell you, did get a toasted honeycomb jumped out at me on the nose along with the peat. Just a
Dude, no, I would say you take the beehive and you light it on fire with a Zippo, and then you put out the fire with what is that, like liquid marshmallow stuff that people would eat. I don't know.
Liquid marshmallow? There's
You know
liquid.
what I mean? It comes in a jar. It was like marshmallow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Come on, you probably had that as a kid in the country house. I don't know.
It's the cream, the marshmallow cream.
Yeah, come on, Chad, help me out. Fluff. Yes. And you don't even put it out with water, you put it out with fluff. And that's exactly what I get.
Yeah.
Burnt beehive put out by fluff.
Wow. Yeah, very nice. Sweetness, honeyed. Ooh. Toasted honey. Peat, smoke. Where was G-Man? G-Man was asking. Oh, yeah. Searching for 5965 on the site. Nothing came up. Yeah, these will be released tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
I'm talking about, baby.
It's a little bit of a toasted nut, peanut.
Let's go. This is what I'm talking about. That's right, man. That is right. What's the price on this? How many are available? Let's go. Everybody, this one sucks. Don't go for it. Tomorrow it's not coming available. Go for the red oak one. Go for the wine cask. Don't go. Let this one sit and then just be available to employees.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Just kidding. You can buy them tomorrow, but
now I say go for this one and leave the X wine barrique alone.
yeah, you really need another bottle of whiskey at your house, don't you? Now, this is sensational. Again, totally. This is generic statement, I would say, but not an Isla. This is sometimes you'd have peated whiskeys and we'll pour them blind and enjoy them blind. Sometimes for a similar cast to this one, and you'll kind of pick up some sort of coastal influence, maybe by memory, or maybe that's really there. This is clearly sort of a highland, burning forest floor, or burning beehive, douse in marshmallow fluff, as we said earlier. Such a visceral experience, so different from the common coastal whiskey. It's not common, but you know what I mean. This is just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. Still, just that toasted honeycomb is so present in this one. It jumps out at you. A little bit of a nuttiness, nice, mild, to medium level peat here with it. Nice toasted vanillas, toasted oak. Here's that recharred hogshead kicking in here with a lot of these toasted notes.
Amazing whiskey. I could so confidently just say, like, this is just go for it, man. Just everybody just go for it. You won't be disappointed. There's a lot going on. I don't know. Now I'm kind of like backpedaling a little bit because I also realize that it's all everybody has their own.
Yeah.
Every palate's unique. So everybody
sure.
I've learned that kind of in this business, just on this side, at least talking with members, and everybody likes different things. This one I can confidently say is pretty easy to love.
Ben B is saying that 16.33 Melville's Other Monster is the best heavily peated whiskey in his collection, in my collection.
Yeah, I know. I remember that one because my wife's maiden name is Melville. She also loves to read books. So that's referring to what Moby Dick, Melville's Other Monster. The first one is Moby Dick. So that was fantastic. This is different. I would say this one has more cask influence. You would probably. Oh, if you would have tasted it, tell me, Scott. I mean, if you tasted this blind, and I told you this is some sort of wine cask, like maybe a port cask,
Okay.
or Madeira, you know, would you buy that? I would personally, because there's another element, and that's the recharred hogshead. But it's not a wine cask, but it's so luscious and it has something else going on.
Yeah, it's bringing out. There's so much other that honeyed sweetness in here with it, and there's definitely underlying fruits along with that peat. That you would think there might be some sort of a slight wine cask influence here.
Right, so
maybe.
I was traveling around Scotland now. Well, you don't have to wear a mask now, I guess, if you go if you get on the airplane. Yeah, it's good. Has anybody gone to Scotland or planning on going?
I've had a lot of calls from people lately, members that are going and they've lost their card, or they haven't, or new members and they haven't got their card yet. They're like, "Hey, I've got an upcoming trip to Scotland and I need to make sure I get my card." But so it seems like there's a lot of people going, so it must be picking up.
Yeah.
I was going to say almost, if you told me this was an Armagnac finished peated whiskey, I'd probably.
but that's what I love about it. It's that it's unpredictable. It's hard to place it. And it's it's fantastic.
There's that nice sweetness, almost like a white grape sweetness underlying with it. That's really nice.
Oh yeah, Robert G says going in July. A lot of people going to Scotland. September trip book, says Matthew. Nice. Scotland summer 2022. Woohoo. Is anyone going to Feshiel this year or any of the festivals next month? Well, this month. This is the festival month.
KLG223 is Kim. She just commented earlier she was at one of the tastings and went through 6 of the whiskeys. And she was like, that's harder than it looks like. Yeah, there's got to be some self-moderation in there. You got to watch it. Before you know it, you start singing John Mellencamp songs.
It hurts so good.
Multicasting says that is wise. Imagine getting all the way to Scotland and brought your wife and your passport, but left your SMWS card back in the States. All you got to do is pull up, get into your account on your phone, show them your account details, and good to go. Right as rain.
Yeah, if anyone's going, do check out the vaults if you can. Scott, last time we were in Scotland together, we were at the vaults. That was 2019.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our other bar in Queen Street, and right in the heart of Edinburgh, that was just redone the last couple of years. And then if anyone's in Glasgow, we just opened our Glasgow venue. What was it? February 2020, right before COVID hit. The best time to open a new bar. I went to all 3 last month, and now we got our end of March. And the Glasgow one's great. I mean, it's pretty newest. They're all great. So I would honestly recommend going to all 3. If you want to make a dinner reservation at Queen Street, though, I do have to do that in advance. Just go to the website and you'll see the email address just to reach out to, and you can bring up to 3 non-member guests. So we'll have some friends traveling with you or our spouse. So yeah.
All right, I'm ready for the next trivia question. Another $50 gift card, courtesy of Ben. The Red Oak 13-year cask number 59.65. I compared to another SMWS bottle that was offered a month or 2 ago. What was the name of that bottle?
Oh God, I don't even know this one. Something like Avis rental cars or something. That's what I remember. Something like that.
Then we'll tease. While this is going on, we can tease. Ben and I have a show in 2 days, Wednesday night, which is May the 4th.
Oh, Cinco de Mayo Eve. Just kidding.
It is Cinco de Mayo Eve, but it's also May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Which means, or is, May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
Ben and I are both big Star Wars
We
geek
are both
heads.
6 whiskeys into being Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we said, hey, you know what? May the 4th, maybe we should do a live stream and do some Star Wars talk and some whiskey talk. And the boss was like, I'm not feeling it. And Ben and I were like, no, it's there. Trust me.
What we mean to say is we need everybody to show up on Wednesday for our. So just to break it down, so we are not releasing any new whiskey.
No.
Maybe we got our whole Outturn coming tomorrow, so we're not releasing any new ones on Wednesday. We don't really have a real agenda. We need to come up with an agenda, but it's. I mean, if anybody's Star Wars fans in the chat, which it looks like there's quite a few based on the comments. Scott, what should we do? And actually, I would turn everybody in chat too. I know everybody's answering the trivia question right now.
Yeah.
But if you finish that, comment in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. If I didn't say that real quick, to the $50 gift card, the giveaway that's going right now, you have to comment. It has to be in the comments, has to be spelled correctly, the name of the whiskey that I compared Red Oak to. And then everybody's entered. You only get one entry. So if you type it in 10 times, you only entered once. We'll do a random draw here in a minute for a $50 gift card. But yeah, Wednesday night, there's no new whiskeys. It's just Star Wars talk. It's just 2 whiskey Star Wars geeks hanging out, talking whiskey. We'll go through some of the movies, just do some trivia. We'll probably have some giveaways then as well.
We'll do some giveaways. I was thinking, on one hand, we can come and look at. We both have these vast collections of SMWS whiskeys behind us. Mm-hmm. We're trying to find whiskeys that. This is a totally nerdy comment, by the way, that evoke the feeling of being on any of the Star Wars planets or moons. Such as a spicy and dry Highland whiskey that's spicy and dry and tastes like the deserts of Tatooine. I don't know. Maybe that's a stretch. Maybe we don't go there, or we just pull out some of our top 5 SMWS whiskeys of the year of all time.
Talk like Yoda. We will, Greg. Now, the only thing I don't have near as many bottlings as you do, but I can go through mine. We can suss some of that out and get some there.
If you don't have a whiskey that tastes like the Forest Moon of Endor in your home collection, guys, come on. I mean, this is just
exactly.
I want to do something real quick. We're getting off topic naturally because that's what Wednesday is all about. The whole evening rather is going to be off topic. Yes, we'll be talking about midichlorians and maybe not the sequels, but we'll be talking about other things going down. Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We'll be like Star Wars YouTubers for a day. But tomorrow is the Outturn release. That's why we're here tonight. And at 1:00 Eastern time, everything's dropping. It's on a first come, first serve basis. So make sure you're logged into your accounts. We've tried to supply everything, enough whiskeys at this point where we don't run up against what we used to, where whiskeys were selling out within minutes. But I want to share real quick the cask list.
Yeah, so see if you can share your screen.
Yeah, why don't I have this open? Okay. Let me see. Chrome has lost permission to capture your screen. To fix what it said. Oh my goodness.
You got the same message I did. So
okay. Well,
they keep doing these. Yeah.
All right, guys, hold tight. I'm gonna fall on the grenade. I'm gonna restart and make this happen. Scott, you can entertain everybody.
Yeah, good.
I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna show you guys a preview. Apologies for this.
Yep.
I'll show you the preview of all the whiskeys coming out tomorrow.
Yep.
So,
all right. First of all, Paul from Charlotte, who's scruffy looking? That's all I got to say about that. I thought Ben was leaving. That's why I was talking. I was going to wait till he left, but he's still there. He's looking, biting his lip.
I'm trying.
All right, let's get into the drawing. So I can't share my screen. There's some new security update with the computers here. Ben is trying to update his computer or his settings at this time. He may leave us for a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get into the giveaway. The correct answer is Rara Avis. Anybody that commented Rara Avis is entered into the drawing for a $50 gift card. I can't share my screen. It's scrolling through all the names right now. It's a random draw. There were all these people put in, and our winner, Rudy Slama, Rudy Slama is our winner for a $50 gift card. Rudy, I don't know if you're a member or not. You don't need to be a member. If you're not a member, you'll have to use the $50 gift card towards the membership. And then, which takes $50. It's $99 to join. Then you become a member. You get $50 off of that and buy all these good whiskeys. Rudy Slama. Let me grab my paper, write that down real quick. Because Matthew Sochek was our first. Rudy, are you a member? Rudy is a member. Shoot me an email. Is that your name or is that a screen name? If that's your name and if that's a screen name and you don't want everybody to know your real name, just shoot me an email at scott@smwsa.com and I'll get it and get you a $50 gift card. Rudy and Matthew, big winners tonight. So, let me get back here. Ben is still there looking at the screen.
No. Got it.
Got it.
All right, everybody. As mentioned, as promised, appreciate the patience. Full list of whiskeys coming out tomorrow. We've had 6 of these, starting with, of course, 7.269 Luscious, Silky, and Sensuous. The whiskey that Scott says describes him best. The whiskey, which also the name, which or the statement with which everybody in the chat disagreed with.
No,
except for Scott.
Not everybody. There's 1 or 2 people.
So here we go. Here's the full list. Got 1 peated whiskey, which is interesting of the whole lot. We had that one tonight. So I'm moving this around. 1 from Deep Rich and Dried Fruits. But anything that stands out to you, Scott? Yeah, I know we've had 6, but what else would you have wanted to taste? Just
I got to tell you, the spicy and dry profile, it's really been sneaking up on me. I saw that one and I was like, "Ooh, I wish we would have had that one." 80.25, blooming, marvelous, 9-year-old Speyside. I think that spicy and dry is an overlooked profile, and there's just some really good whiskeys coming out in that. So, other than that, we had some really good whiskeys. Not disappointed in any of them, honestly. So, and what did you think of you kind of trusted me on the lineup of how to progress through them. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that was pretty good. I mean, we started with the Young and Sprightly and sort of watched the spirit develop as we moved through both. Yeah, I would say with each whiskey we had tonight, it became more and more complex.
Yeah.
Or just, I think we saturated our palate in the correct order.
Yeah.
That makes
sense.
And
then we had the Red Oak, which was the 13-year, 3 years in that ex-red wine barrique. And then we had an 11-year-old that was the Oloroso, but 3 years in the Oloroso. So I kind of went back and forth on how to do those, but I think that was right. That Red Oak with that ex-red wine barrique, very nice. It's very prominent, had a great influence on that cask. But that Oloroso coming in on Misbehaving in a Country House was just, great as well. Overpowering and very nice.
Yeah. I think also this 63.78, Let Your Imagination Run Wild, seems really appealing. 18 years old and 18 years in a first fill barrel. Would have loved to taste that one. And interesting is that at the very end here, the 122.42 Gold Rush from the spicy and sweet flavor profile. Typically, those are peated whiskeys. We've seen a couple that are unpeated, and this is one of them. I think that's pretty special, at least on paper. Mm-hmm. And yeah, great lineup overall. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, so everybody take a screenshot if you'd like.
How about do you have the thumbnail? Can you show the thumbnail for Wednesday night?
Oh, sorry, I had to restart my browser because
just tease that a little bit. We'll get some more. Kim was at the tasting again tonight. She loved Adventurously Awesome, which was the 14-year-old spicy and dry, 71.79. That was they're all very nice. Excellent whiskeys. And I'm sitting here, I hadn't taken a sip for a while, and I went back to entering Uncharted Paths, the 16.60, and I was just, again, palate blown away by it.
Let me share. Oh, here's our channel. Okay. So Wednesday night, if you Didn't know. Let's see, upcoming live streams. Here we are. Scott, I think you wanted to show off the fact that you put this thumbnail together. Is that why I'm sharing this right here?
I think there's two good looking guys again on there.
Interesting choice to put me on Obi-Wan and then you on Anakin.
It was the angle of the face. Yeah, the photos that I had, they didn't work the other way.
Okay. Well, I'm going to just give this one a thumbs up. Everybody go ahead and do that. Where's that bell? I'm going to put that bell one on. Everybody turn on all notifications. Make sure to subscribe. I've already done that. I'm already subscribed. Thank God I'm already subscribed. So here we go.
I think you're wearing that Obi-Wan dressing very well.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm gonna stop sharing. Well, that's all we got tonight. Wednesday will be a lot of fun. I think it's just gonna be fun to do something and get together and just totally nerd out and have a good time. Share the experience. Talk a lot. Maybe we'll theorize about some things. Upcoming Obi-Wan show. And yeah, we got to really work on our whiskey tie. We can just sit here and kind of have some really good whiskeys as well.
Yep.
But maybe it'll be a longer stream. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Everybody in chat, you know, it is what you make it. So if you like Star Wars, come on by. If you don't like Star Wars, want to laugh at us, boom, we'll see you there.
Yeah. Still come by and give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Still counts.
Yeah. Any thumb is a good thumb. Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Really appreciate having you here. For those of you who are in the in-person tasting event tonight and also joined us on YouTube, you guys are rock stars. Yeah, that doesn't get any more dedicated than that. I'm not in a location where there's an in-person tasting myself right now, nor is Scott. So here we are at the best party of all of them. So cheers, everybody.
Right. And remember, Scotch Malt Whiskey Society whiskeys are not for swigging, glugging, or knocking back. Please drink responsibly. Cheers.
Cheers.